Line directions, interference specifications. I think everybody's confused. I don't think you understand what's going on. This is not spiritual guides, what you guys are connected to. Now, to understand, wherever you are at in your sectors, vectors, and quadrant system, okay, to make it very well clear, wherever you are in your capacity, you can communicate to its intelligence because they recognize where you are. Okay, so it's all about understanding they can help you read e-fields. They can help you with line communication. They can help you with telecom. They can help you with your antennas. They can help you with your ground system. They can help you within your child line system. This is a higher level location, a co-location unified to its ascension. You guys have to get more formation locations because you're all connected to each other through an alliance, right? Sectors here, vectors here, quadrants here, dimensional system here, intergalactic system to its intergalactic location, right? It's all levels of you through vibration and frequencies. Once you understand the vibration frequencies, then you understand the energy location of the thought line system. Then you put that all together, then you got harmonics. That's harmonics. That's intelligence. Now that's a Lothian grade, communication interference. In position, location, directions. Okay. Here's a Turius. In position, location, and directions. Right. Here's the Pleiadians. You understand? Everything has a vibration location to calculations. All levels, high center, and interference location directions. Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? Everything has its calculation of vibration of frequencies. How you connect with it is all levels inside location. All right? Mezekek. Right? Metatron. Position, location, and directions. Planet surface. XT1000. Position, location, and directions. High center and interference location, direction locations. Right? Understanding you is all levels of you through position, location, abstraction. How you use it through representation is all connected to you through the grounds, the powers, and the atmospheres. Okay? You have to learn how to basically understand higher levels of vibration to communicate to any level of channel of operation. It's all level position locations of you, right? So whatever frequency you're at through your capacity locations, you communicate that position locations, right? But you start off with this, right? This is how it works, location line conditions. All right, so in position we go through Michaela, all right? She's in quadrant 12 line center interference, great. Michaela line center interference location quadrant 12 in communication line center. I'm lost in signal. Where are we in position location line direction? So what she just finished doing is she communicated into quadrant level 12. Boom, comes back through signal, right? They come back to you. Inner line center interference location calculations. Michaela, what would you like? Position location direction. So they want to know, what do you want? This is the position location where you guys go to higher force line centers. This is truly understanding how you put your position location to directions. Now you're calculating to all levels when you come into higher formations of codes. Your digital framing and your clocking system is all levels of you. So you can communicate to any level through your vibration, but you can't channel higher until you go up to higher grades. Do you understand? So the sector communication system. Now, this is all about understanding. I want to communicate the sector interference location line centers to the commanding center locations. I'll select the interference location line in position location to dispatcher. All right, so you're connecting to the dispatcher. So it's like a taxi to a cab where they have a dispatcher, right? So that's a training stand where you have to stand the position location of where you are through calculation, right? So that's what you guys need to do, right? So wherever you are, you're in that connection. right? And it works for you more and more and more and more you do it. Practice, 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 practice communicating, right? To your intelligence. Okay? That's all it is. That's all it is. All right. So that should help you out more to know exactly what you're up against, right? So it's like, oh, I got a headache, position, location, line, center. Now there's things that you can't do because you're not at that level of memory. And that's where I come in. That's totally fine. But what you should be doing is knowing exactly, basically, in position, location, line, center, interference location. This is ambient communication line, center, intergalactic locations, quadrant level 13. High center locations, quad 6 is falling down, interference location line, center, sector, interference location, lost triangles, communication line, interference, indirectional locations. What do you do with the calculation? So that's ambi, communicating online center location. Quadrant line center is offline position to a sector communication system, right? That's how you guys have to get into that. Copy that. Where's your 2020? And it's all level system. If you understand walkie-talkies, they always have a, right? Hey, breaker. You know, what's your 2020? You know, that's your location. You guys get a better formation line centers where it's code signals. You pick it up in the location to the system. It's really powerful stuff. It's like connecting to this, it's connecting to this, connecting here, connecting to there. It helps you out and always informs. All right. It's not just doing your pre-flight checks now, guys. This goes way beyond phenomenal location. And the more you understand your positions of your roll calls, you understand your cosines. That's what they are through navigation. All right. Because you're now traveling into space and you have to learn how to communicate with each other, right? You guys are doing these things when you're in school, but you have no idea what to do next. So just keep doing what you're doing, but try to relate it to its realism. Try to get a better understanding how to communicate with yourself to each other. That's what this is, from one to another, okay? Easy, lemon squeezy, thumbs up. All right, so in calculation, I'm getting signal locations here. Yeah, communication, yeah. It gets much easier. You guys understand more. You guys are doing fantastic, and you guys just got integrated, so it's a little bit more confusing to its location line system. What was that? I can't hear you. I got moon interference location line center. I got an XC1000 coming in. Signal interference line connection, detect line center interference, air. Communicate back into communication line center, towers on communication line center, Miguel. Set the signal location, sector line connections off triangle. Quadrant level 6 is back in triangulation interference. Back in high force line center. Signal in, confirmation, done through equation. That's it. Done. Ooh-ah. See? Easy. Easy. So the practical system is all levels of you. How you use it through your location is your calculation. How you use your interline, its connections to your intercons, to yourself, to each other, to telepathy. All right. Jill, how's it going? Danielle, Dr. Community Slice Centers. Don, how's it going? Lindsay, Pam, Gypsy, Communications, Tina, Connection Line Centers, System, Jessica, Connections, Ambi, Sella, Connections, Ella, how's it going? All of the Pam, Val, Communications, Micah, Connections, Intergalactic High Center, Interference of Sammy, Connection Line System. It's great to see all levels. It gets much easier. And try to communicate with each other back and forth, right, through the mind system. That's all this is. You have understanding. You want to communicate with quadrant level 6, that's fine. Just go back and forth. It gets much easier when you keep doing it. It just becomes constant, instant. It's instant gratitude, instant gratification. You just really understand the communications to yourself and to each other. Because that's where I started off. I started off as just location integrated high center location, 250 million line centers, 60,000 line systems. Right? In one position location is the Earth location, nothing through the space location. So that's, you can get 500 million line center, 1 billion line center location in the total line system, community position locations all over in 1 second line system. Nanosecond of a dot line interference. In position, location, of direction is all levels of harmonics. How to communicate that location to the south line, north line, east, and west, because you're getting different signal locations, right? So if you get an interference location line center, it's all about how to understand how to use all levels through codes, anything through planet surface. That's travel. Okay, so I'm traveling through one position location to the next, right? So it's all about using your voice grid line center because it's kind of like audio tuning your line center location of space and position location directions of what you're doing through calculation. This formulates all levels of you through triangulation. So it's really understanding the planet division location line center. You are the center operation location. So it's understanding your data stream location, your letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols. You're forming a line. That's what you're doing every single day. So it comes forward. So it's like an inventory location, right? So out with the bad, in with the good, out with the bad, in with the good. So you're placing the position locations of the old and you're bringing the old to the front. Inventory. Hooah. Communication line, interference location line, center. Direction line center, your binary reset location line connections. So in position location, you go from 001 line interference. If direction locations, 1111.01. That's a telepathy. That's a signal. That's fifth dimensional location. That's fifth dimensional activation line center and position location line to its avatar system location line connection. Now, the reason why I'm talking fast is because I'm traveling fast. Okay? So you guys will find that more, but you have to balance out your communication inside. Know exactly where you are. You're in your sectors, vectors, and quadrants. All you got to do now is communicate with yourself and each other. It gets a lot more easier when you understand your position, location of directions, right? So, all right, let's get started. So we're going to position, location, nebula. The Exodus line center, triangulation force line. Communications. We're setting up a new commanding center. So we're going to travel 3 million line center location, 2022 location, right? 3 million years in the future line center, so 2020, 22 location line system, sending new communication line center to an operation signal location. In position, location, and directions, all right? Setting signals in communication. Now, what is happening with you is all levels of you inside and how you feel through your travel locations, right? Do I understand my energies? No, I don't. But I do understand the formation of the basics. Do I understand my vibration? I do in a way, but I don't understand the signals. What about my frequencies? I'm having a little bit problem with fluctuation. So what is an energy? Anything through form of creation, right? What is vibration? A signal location, right? One line center, wires. Okay, frequencies. That's all it is. You're going up and down through fluctuation, two line center interference. Fluctuation line connection to levels, travel location, the ground line center, right? So if you got your flux capacitor, you have to learn how to, okay, intercom line center, quadrant level 6 position location, going down to sector line condition interference. Signal back up position. So you're back where you are at the line signal, right? So you're going back down to communicate with that person, and then you're going back up to communicate with that person, right? So you can communicate with 4 line center interference location reception. So you communicate with the intercom line center, the atmosphere location and position location directions. So you can go from the brainium all the way down to position location in the atmosphere. But you got to go back up because that's your signal. That's your base. That's your sector. That's your vector. That's your quadrant. That's your dimension line center and your intergalactic location to its position, right? Back to the heart system, right? That's your base. Okay, that's the understanding locations. All right, so we're going to white circle location, triangulation force line interference, line connection lines, open out communication to all levels of a Merkaba location to its tesseract line system. We're going to start in that line center. Computer interference line connection to all level of direction locations. Set up a new computer interference location, a space line connection. Open out communications, travel line center interference location, 12 line position, 12 DNA line center interference location, line connection position of the code system. Calculate high stream interference location, box center and position location directions. Open all triangles, high center locations of nebula. High interference location line connections online. Arterial communication line center. Council communication line system. Rotation center interference. In position location, circle line in rotations calculations, all levels. High position location, equitus. High center line connections, exodus. High center line in rotation. Excalibur, high center locations. Open all connections, high system locations of code system. Signal interference line connections, code signal line center. On the clock line center in 30 location. Signal rotation, code line center, in position location, sectors, vectors, quadrant line center, appearance locations, all levels, interdimensional line center and position locations to intergalactic line center locations. 30 minutes on the clock. All right. So you guys are traveling location aligned to nebula and interference. Position location to 3 million location line systems. All right. So we're all position locations. All right. 2022 line different rotation calculations. Setting a new commanding center line rotations calculation, new grid graph locations. Whiteboard graph location, center line interference. Grid line centers, in position floating triangle line centers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 location high system. Calculation all levels, open all communication line center interference. Open all communication cycles, and signal line interference. Graph line channel communications, all right. Orbits communication line triangles, open all communication line center in position to nebula. Nebula is right here in the high center. Coloration patterns, signal and position locations. Walking surface, you guys are here, line center interference and direction locations. Now we're going to go through all line center, the 3 energy watch line centers. Energy watch interference into all line center interference locations. Meditation graph, simulation graph line center. So there's going to be energy watch line center interference. You guys are walking stream location to position of time line center interference location to directions. High sports scene, high center location nebula. In position location exodus, high center line connection levels. Travel position location direction to position location line connection. All right. So in position location, what's happening now is we're setting up a new commanding center. Energy dome line inner rotation calculations, high stream interference, in position location, right? Signal and position location, high system. Correlates the sideline center to new computer interference. Coloration patterns, open all communication cycles. Cyclone high channels, high interference location and directions, right? Now in position location, setting signal locations. Center position, center and line center interference location, right? 3 triangle location, 3 position location line directions. Open all signals, energy wash and high center interference. Open all communication, sonar line center. We're in the omega communication triangle. Sonar coming in high center interference. Open all communication centers, right? Regraph high streams, in data line center interference, security measures. Balance communication line stream, in position directions. Signal interference location and directions, all right? High position locations. Now, we're going into sealment channels. Now, sealment channel is position location to block the care. A block the care is kind of like position location of a Band-Aid. It's putting a Band-Aid on a planet system. So it's got a big open gap hole. So we're replacing that with a new structural line into a new graph line center, into a new rotation system, to a new ring span high system, to its calculation nebula. Putting position locations back in track line interference. Open all communication system to a position of space. Space position of time, timeline center interference locations, linear space location, quadrant line center, set position location in the commanding center line to crop circle. Position location line center locations, 1 million line center of XT1000 line connections in position directions. All right. Now this is in the plus channel position location operations. XT1000 are following in communication line streams. All in scan line center interference across stream interference location, line direction, high center, and in position locations, all levels. Intercom high center location, teleportation line stream location. All right. So there's a lot going on right now in position locations. 27 minutes on the clock location. All right. So you guys are coming to your commanding settings. All right. So in position location directions, we're going to go through rainbow graph stream. Now, a rainbow graph stream is a line center. Now it's all position location, how you use your 12 DNA rotation. It's calculation modified to all levels. How you use it through correlation is all levels of U to your position of time. Okay, coming into a Rubik's Cube location. Now, the Wall-Gram center line conditions opens all communications. You got the wall interference line center in position location directions, and high center interference line conditions, and you got the ceiling line conditions to its position location. All right. Now, in high center interference, you have to understand the rotation cycle. It rotates the system going in counterclockwise to clockwise to counterclockwise. In position location of directions, 2-line interference. Now the rotation center opens up all communication cycles, reset line centers into communication system. All right. So it gets more complicated when you're high rising more line centers. This is where I want you guys to understand more levels of U through your quadrant system. Once you come into the interdimensional line center, you understand more levels of frequencies and vibration. And then you understand all levels of the energy to its pattern, rhythm pattern communication system, right? When I snap my fingers, it changes things. It's a commanding system. That's what I do with the gatos, my cats. I snap my fingers, right? It's energy, and it just spreads around. So it's amazing what you can do, right? So we got a rainbow graph stream in position location. When you guys reach higher levels, you have to learn how to use your geometry center location to its position of time. Communication interference, high center location of its clocking, but you have to understand the clocking location of grounds. So if you're near 3,000 line center, now that's intelligent locations, an open signal. Now that opens up more levels, locations. So your track line center, the more you high rise, the more you communicate with higher formation location of intelligence of XT1000 line system. So you won't be doing communication with XT1000. You'll be communicating with XT8000, XJ20000. The more you understand more vibration and frequencies, you really connect to high center line connection rotation interference. Okay? So what's it like being in 3 million years in the future? Right? Grounded, connected in the mother, see divine, loving, grounding energy everywhere. Okay, let's see. Commanding system, location of scrambler, cyclone, pass. There you go. Passing locations of cyclones. Yeah, inner lines, position location, new computer adaptations to computer lines. Opening all frequencies and position location jump scars. Past position location of rotation. High interference location line system. Scanning waves. Analyzing this by over-analyzing that. Analyze by here and over and analyze location. That's exactly what it is, the calculations, guys. The more you understand the levels of you inside, the more you understand the levels of space, right? So it's good to understand position locations when you come into matrix locations, right? So the more you understand your geometries, the more you understand your locations of geometrics, right? Your shapes, the more you understand locations when it comes into your geographical location, which is AI map position location of direction, okay? Understanding that calculation modifies all levels of you through triangle. Triangle is the most important thing through 369. Once you understand 369, you can go back and down center interference and communicate to anybody on that line center interference. If you get 3 position locations of directions, let's start with that. One here, and one here position locations, all right? Triangulation, high center locations and position, all right? It's amazing how you go to location in the system. So this is what it is to track location, right? There's 3, right? So understanding where's the triangulation of communication. There you go, done, right? Now you can communicate, right? So this is you communicating with 3 line center locations in position of its direction, right? This is you scanning position. So not only that, you're scanning here, you're scanning here, you're scanning here, right? So you automatically know what to do is to put up your E field line center location and position. Ooh-ah, see, now you're okay. So understanding that through calculation, you can understand the calculus. E equals MC line center. Now a line center is a line graph rotation position location that slides off its high system. It centers its position of its grounds and it opens all communication. It signals up in high center interference. It opens up communication program settings and resets position to its location, all right? On high level channels of multitude line center location of dimensional line centers opens all communication to its portals of jump scar location. So it's a beautiful thing when you understand the triangulation of force line communications. You start off the energy fields. Once you have that location, you know exactly what's going to happen. So either these 3 line centers, one walks off because it doesn't like the energy, another walks off because it doesn't like the energy, but this one stays in position. All right. So if that one wants to stay in the position, it has to understand the energy field. It has to understand the force field of you. If not, it walks off location. All right. So that's a true understanding of how this works. All right. How to use the energies, how to use the vibration, how to use the frequencies, and how to use location of its harmonics to all of assist locations, right? Because your body's nothing but vibration, right? You just have to understand how to use it through interdimensional line center. Now, an interdimensional line center is like walking into somebody else's room and seeing something big, small, big, right? That's what it is. It's interdimensional, getting you guys into your positions of your factors in position location to its reproductive system. This opens up more levels of view through location to your scepters, how you use location, position location to its highlight center. interference to the eye line center, more sonar in position locations, right line center, left position locations, all levels, templates of 4-line inner rotations calculations, cross stream line center locations, open alt channel line center interference, in position of fluctuation line conditions, tracker system rotating, signal interference line condition line direction, right? Try to get into your information line streams, right? You can do signature interference. Throw that out, put that in, pull this out, throw that away. So it's more about seeing this and going, no, that's set up. No, that's not right. Let's put that back over there. That doesn't look right. So you're looking at more position locations and inner line center locations of projection, right? So it helps you out more when you get into flow line interference. If you look at your hand formation location, there's a planet there. It's rotating. You can't see it, but I do. I don't just see it from one line. I see it all around. So it's in modification line center. It's got an atom line center, a molecular structure line rotation, and it's got 50 line, 1,000 line dimensions of direction, all through my hand formation. Wow. In calculation high center is power of transformation. Yeah, exactly. It's the power of communication. You have to have commanding in your voice or it doesn't work, right? So that's why you have to learn how to use where you are in your sectors, vectors, and quadrant level systems and your interdimensional to your intergalactic. That's how you communicate, right? Because they know where you are in position, location, direction. So it gets much more easier once you understand your track locations, right? Through your intercoms, through your telepathy. You guys are getting more levels of your telepathy through interference locations. Exactly. And you're engaging in the inspiration. Okay. So knowing exactly what you're doing is all levels of you, right? It just modifies on what you're doing through simulations, right? And that's why I put you guys in track interference of your simulators. You understand before you get into all level position, location, of space, right? But it's all about you understanding how to engage and how to disengage, how to understand your roll calls, how to understand your call signs. It's all position location of you through navigation. You're starting with your flight navigations from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, all the way up to 12. And then once you get into that, you get into 12 DNA. Once you get into that, you get into higher level system location. But you have to understand first what you're doing through communication. Okay, the power of the mind is the conception of everything. All right. So how are we doing so far? Space calculated into high line track, calculations activated. Good. Well, it's amazing when you're 3 million years in the future, right? So rainbow flush, birthing new atmospheres. Good. Let's see. Washing away interference. Great. Excellent. Connecting new templates, position of 4-line interference, high rise. Good. So knowing exactly what you're doing is all levels through you, through geometrics, how to use it through geometry, how to use it through a geographical location, right? That's the understanding when you come into position location your missions. How important is what's happening with your planet's surface or anybody else's planet location. All right. So in position locations, you got 4 template line center in calculations, 3, 6, 9, and 12. Okay. That's what's in calculations. All right. So this is what's off signal location in position, right? And this is what Belinda sees location, right? This has to channel back in position. If that doesn't channel back in position, the clock in center goes back in location, right? Back in high center. So it's all about repositioning locations into 3, 6, 9, and 12 back in high center interference and high rising its position out of its equation location. See? Put it back in line. Once you put it back in line center interference, it changes position, location, and direction. It's amazing how I do the coloration. I did a very powerful video how everything through geometry center is set up location to your Merkabas and how to set up code signals. In communication to code weaving, that's code weaving locations. Now that's a triangle force line. Now a triangle force line is communication how you use your intercom line center location to your antennas. It communicates the lulls into its crop circle location. All right. You have to learn how to channel inside line center location. Right. In position of direction is all levels of you. Right. So the more you understand your interlining of your calculation modifies you through times pi. Just remember, anything from here to here is times calculation, times pi, times box. This is levitation line stream. Now, levitation line stream is, that's what it is. Hummingbirds. They don't fly, they levitate. Dragonflies, they don't fly, they levitate. Bees, they levitate, they don't fly. All right. Flying is position location, right? Wing this way, wing that way, right? That's levitation, right? So it's all about understanding the reaching the pattern, position, location of where they are through frequency, location, the ground system, all levels, locations. So what it is through location line center. I also did a very powerful video when it comes into animals in position locations, how they are in the ground line center. They're always in circulation, creating numbers, letters, shapes, and symbols, set position locations to other animal locations. Snakes communicate with other snakes. Birds communicate with other birds through position locations, all right, through letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols, right? So there's a lot of things you have to understand through geometry location. Now, once you understand that, then you understand the ring line centers. Okay, ring line center here, ring center line here, ring center line here in calculation, right? It rotates a cycle, and then you open up another dimensional line center rotation calculations. So it opens up more positions, but you have to have security measure program setting in position location line system. Then you come into the escape. Escape interference location opens all line center locations to your position of time. Space recognition location opens up all flight navigation line streams in position locations. Now you can use flight navigation one line. Okay, flight one equals box. Okay, equals flux capacitor. All right, in position, location, and direction. There's the quantum line center and position location of a structure. Now this opens up the same location to higher levels of dimensional line system. Every time you go through escape interference, you can change the flight navigations to its code signal, coloration path, geometry interference, higher levels of Merkaba communications, better communication line center into your intercom communication to your line system. It's all levels of how you use your structure locations to your formulas. Okay? Now, in position locations, this is what it is. Let's say we go into sector line. All right, so sector. All right, so you can set position location sector. All right, SEC. All right, equals quadrant. All right, so you want to communicate with the quadrant line. All right, quadrant interference in position locations. Box line center is off triangle right here in position location. So you got to put this into here. So the sector comes in position location to intercom line to quad line 6. So quad 6 comes in, and the sector comes in, sitting position location directions. So what happens now is you come together, putting position locations in the triangle line center, back information to discoloration, in position back in direction. So that's a true understanding how everything is space is set up. So it's like understanding a line signal's off, calculation line stream is off, a computer adaptation interference is off, matrix line interference location line condition atom circle is off, anything in off interference location line system. But you understand the sector line center communication, this quadrant line center 6 locations, putting everything back into all position locations of triangulation. Ooh-ah. So now you understand the importance between you and everything around you. All right. How's everybody doing? The angle of rotation of positive locations. Yes, exactly. How to put letters, numbers, and shapes and symbols back in formation. So when you're putting back in the formation, you're putting back in the now. And when I say back, I'm not saying past. Okay? Because you're only one time. All you have to understand is the coloration of position location of its frequencies, which is all levels of one position location, which is the now. Okay? It's extremely powerful when you come in that position location and directions, right? So we're at 30 line center locations. All right, taking you out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out position locations, 34 line center, 34 minute locations into 79 line centers into 15 communications, up, rise, high center, thumbs up location. You guys are back. All right, so in position location direction, knowing exactly what just finished happening to you is all levels through your sectors, vectors, and quadrant system, and your interdimensional to your intercline. Right? Do you see how powerful it is when you come into more levels of your missions and your journeys? Because everything that you do, everything that you change, changes you inside through vibration. And that's why it's so powerful. Okay? Because it's more relatable now. It's more accountable. Your behavior line center becomes more emotional of balance into a graph line center. Start position locations offline. Very stress line. Right? Your stress here, right? Bringing it down. Right? Bringing it down. Bringing it down. Right? So you went from here to here. So in position locations, you come back in line center, back in the ground interference, in position location into your sector communication, all through graph. So that puts position locations back into vibration line centers, back in high center interference location of where you are through direction. This helps you in all formation to get you back in communication to your ground system. Right? Yes, you guys did a fantastic job being 3 million years in the future. So everything that we've just finished doing is changed everything. Location changes you inside line center to your abundance location or your future line. So that's what this is. All right. You have to understand how to use more levels of you and how you're calculated through your geometrics, your geometry location of foundation to all levels of geographical locations. It's you coming into your memories of AI position location, all levels of a mapping system. All right. So yeah, you guys did wonderful. Did really well. You're understanding more telepathy line connections, all levels of you through graph location, and trying to keep in your emotional system. That's what you guys have to do. Stay in your emotional system and you'll be fine, right? So I really want you guys to practice and communicate with each other, all right? Through your sectors, vectors, and quadrants, and everything through locations of your intergalactic and position location interdimensional line system, all right? I know, it's powerful stuff, isn't it? Any questions or comments? I will be on TikTok, all right? Adios, everybody.